I hope that many of you were able to have a very good holiday season. Hope that many of you were able to enjoy your time with your family and friends and all those different things. I hope you were able to do so. I know a lot of you, the beginning of the year is scary. Sometimes the end of the year is sometimes scary, sure. But I want to talk about something bigger. Again, belated Happy New Year. I want to talk about how the country is going. What's going on with the country next year? And more importantly, in this case, with New York State. And I say, Larry, is stuff happening in New York State? Are things getting better? Will they be getting better? Are things going to change now? And I would ask you to think about what we've been doing in New York State. And I'm going to give you a quick story. I remember years ago, I was watching Donald Trump's old show, The Apprentice. Some of you may have watched it years ago when it was on and very popular at the time. And there was one episode where the people who were fighting to be the apprentice, for those of you who may not know, that was a show where a bunch of would-be business people would come on the show in a reality show and compete to become Donald Trump's apprentice for a year. That's what it was about. So they would come and do this, right? So in this case, one of these shows, the goal was to make a bunch of money, kind of revamping a hotel, a small motel slash hotel place. And the teams are together, and each of them is trying to, decide to try to fix this, make it a better state so they can actually repair and make money. Well, one of the guys who's in charge decides that he's going to buy a bunch of brand new toilets. I'm not joking. Toilets. He thinks if he buys a bunch of brand new toilets, that somehow this is going to make the hotel make more money. And it was like over like a weekend. It wasn't like months of promoting these awesome new toilets. It's just like over a weekend. Like if someone walked to your place, you go, by the way, brand new toilet. And they go, oh, yes. Obviously, it's a disaster. He spent all this money on toilets. They had a limited budget. And of course, lost the challenge. Of course he would. He spent money on something that had no value to the individual people and for the goal he was trying to achieve, which was growth. That is literally New York State. We are buying a whole lot of toilets, no growth. In fact, our toilets we're buying aren't even new. Our toilets aren't even new. We're doing lots of things that feel good and sound good. Oh my God, one of the things New York State's really good at is virtue signaling. We're amazing at that. In fact, maybe California's up to par with us, but when it comes to virtue signaling, it is very rare that New York State will be beaten. And we've done it again. I don't know if you know this, but there were about 900 different laws that Hochul signed. Now I would ask you, for what possible reason could New York State require 900 more laws? I'm going to tell you. For us, no reason, none. But for all the people she has to pay back, and I keep bringing this up, you hear me almost every week talk about people getting paid back for all the money she raises. They're getting paid back with all these new laws, 900 of them. They're getting paid back. And of course, there's going to be a bunch of very nice looking things like the saying I love, we are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I love that idea. We have made laws in New York State, I'm not joking, that will now orders private schools to provide free menstruation products. Free, requires them to do so. They must do so. That's a law. We decided to allow doulas to get Medicare or Medicaid, I forgot which one. We made it against the law to discriminate against someone for hair or weight or height when it comes to hiring or housing. Now, any of these things in themselves necessarily bad? Probably not the end of the world, none of them individually. But now add 897 more of those, right? That's just 3. Add 897 more of those. So one of them, whatever. In fact, many of them are actually pretty good. It's not a bad thing. Many of these things are. Let me go to the next step. Then how do you grow? If you're going to tell me I'm going to spend all this time virtue signaling, okay, I don't mind you painting your house and making your house look good. That's a nice thing. But if the plumbing doesn't work, you don't have running water, there's no heat, there's no AC, the house looks nice from the outside, but it's garbage inside. That's what we're doing. We're painting the house, but inside it's a disaster. And then people go, oh no, it's good. Well, if you lived in a house that was painted and looked good from the outside, maybe had a beautiful lawn. Wow, nice house. Go inside. No running water. Toilets don't work. No heat, no AC, no shower. You'd probably leave. You'd say, wow, looks nice, but I can't live here. I'm going to be outside and I'm going to look and go, nice looking house. I'm going to live someplace else. Well, guess what? That's what's happening. People live in New York State. Again, number one, over 5 years in a row, most people leaving the state in the entire country, New York State, by both percentage and number. Again, least free state ranked by Cato now is what, 8 years in a row? Maybe more, I don't remember. It's so common, I can't remember. They keep leaving. But Larry, Kathy Hochul cares about us. Well, she does paint the house nice. I agree. The house does look nice when you see it from the outside. But then you live in it and go, I can't be here. You may go, but Larry, so what? The people who are leaving, why do we care? I will tell you why we care. According to the IRS, not me, making stuff up, not me, the IRS, New York State, in 2022, they have the numbers for 2022 right now. They don't have 2023 yet. New York State lost over $20 billion in income due to migration. Let me repeat that. This is from the IRS. 2022, New York State lost over $20 billion from migration, people packing up and leaving. Oh my God. Larry, how much is $20 billion in New York? Our budget's $230 billion, about 9% of our budget. Gone. So now we have even more debt. What could go wrong? More debt, no plan for growth. New York City falling apart. Guess how much New York City's budget of our 230 is? About half, 114 billion. Yes, New York City's budget is about half of the entire state's budget. And you see how the city's going. Yeah, people packing up and leaving. Again, according to the IRS. You may say, wait a minute, Larry, this can't be true. How can this be true? Think about yourself. If you live in New York or used to live in New York, do you know somebody who's left? It's probably you. But if it isn't you, it's somebody you know. And how many people do you know who live in New York who are still thinking they should leave? Yeah, all over. New York State is doing nothing to repair, but they are doing something to raise money, though. Wait a minute, Larry. They got to raise money somehow. You're right. If you're thinking, Larry, they can't just keep going debt for nothing. They got to try something. They do. That's true. They do. And guess what it is? More taxes, more fines, more fees. The problem is at one point, even we get tired of taxing. At one point, even we're like, no, stop. So they don't tax us as much. Sorry. How could I say that? They don't raise taxes as much as they used to. That's true. Well, if you're not going to keep raising taxes, but I have to punish my population, what am I going to do? I got to punish my population. I got to do that. Okay. We'll add more fines. We'll add more fees. We'll add congestion pricing. We'll raise our tolls. We'll raise the MTA prices. We'll do that instead. And they are doing all of that. And then who pays those fees? Is it those rich fat cats from Wall Street? No, not at all. It's the working class guy or gal trying to make a living. They're the one who keeps paying. Now, the question is, does that working class person, are they able to pack up and leave before they're trapped? There are a lot of New Yorkers right now who are trapped and they'd love to leave, but they can't afford it. They can't afford to sell their home or they can't afford to break their lease, or they can't afford to find a place someplace else because they're in too much debt. Again and again and again, this is happening to New Yorkers. The wealthy can move whenever they want to. They're wealthy. Pack up and go. I got cash. No big deal. Even if you're upper middle class, you can pack up and leave. If you're middle class now, you're on the border. Can I get out or can I not? But once you start being lower middle class, now you start getting scared. If you're on the cusp, if you're paycheck to paycheck, which a lot more New Yorkers are, can you leave? I brought this up before, but it hasn't changed. In New York State, we have a thing called zombie houses. It's on their website, it's on the government website. It's people who literally just pack up and leave. And they don't care if they have a lease. They don't care if they have a mortgage. See you in court, good luck. If you can catch me in Florida or South Carolina or Tennessee or Texas, good luck, I'm out. That's been happening literally for years. And it still is. I warned the people of this in 2020, they ignored me. Now it's 2024, and it's still happening. We're in trouble. I think there may be some hope. I do. And it's not good. Can repair it, though. Larry Sharpe, Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. The number to call in to say hi to me and tell me how right or wrong I am. 585-346-3000. I'll be back with your calls and, of course, the chat. I see you guys in the chat. You're rock and rolling after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
To live the quality of life we deserve in truth and freedom, informed by our Constitution, our laws, and traditions, we need to pick the best leaders possible. Recent experience certainly illustrates that. Free and accurate elections are essential if we're going to restore our society and safeguard our rights. New York Citizens Audit is a volunteer, nonpartisan group which has been lobbying for open source audits of the State Board of Elections and reform of the electoral process statewide. Did you know Citizens Audit has uncovered over 1 million felony violations of election law? That in 2020, there were 625,000 more voter registrations than existing voting age citizens in just 6 New York counties, that there were 338,000 more votes cast than voters who voted. These are just a few shocking examples of the urgent need for reform. You can help. Visit auditny.com and learn the facts, how to volunteer, and make a difference in your community. Again, volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Start at auditny.com. That's auditny.com.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
Oh, yes. It is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. 585-346-3000 is the number. And yes, I've been talking about New York State and how I worry that with all of the bills, all of the laws that are being passed, where is the plan for growth? And if you've been following me over the last 5 years of me doing this, constantly I keep saying the same thing. Okay, you want to help this group. Okay, you want to protect that group. Okay, you want to pass this virtue signaling law. Okay, I'm not going to go crazy. You got to do some virtue signaling. You got to pay back some of your people. Okay, I'll put up with it. But then where is the growth? That is my answer. Where's the growth? If you can show me a growth plan, I'll put up with it. In fact, most people would. If you go back several years in New York City, New York City's always been very heavily regulated, always been a heavily police state for many years. But people wouldn't leave the city. Why? Because the opportunity was so amazing. The opportunity was so awesome. They're like, fine, I'll put up with this because I get something. I get so much. I don't care. I'm fine. Most people are that way. We will take a little bit of negativity if we can get a whole lot of positivity. We'll take it. Any good relationships got bad and good. We want a whole lot more good than bad. That's with our boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, friends, business, work. Work sucks sometimes. I get it. But I hope if you're happy, it's a whole lot more positive than negative. That's not happening here. That is not happening here. Grab a couple comments if I could. Joe says, I love The Apprentice. I got to tell you, I did too. I thought it was, well, the first couple seasons was good. After that, it got kind of dry to me. It became, in my view, for those who like The Apprentice, it became far too obvious that it was just a marketing show. And of course, it's a marketing show, of course. But I feel like in the first couple of seasons, it didn't feel like it was just a marketing show. At the end, it was like, clearly, we're just marketing stuff. Here's a commercial for an hour. So it got too much for me. I didn't really watch the last couple seasons because of that. But it's my view. Some people still loved it. But I did think the idea was actually cool. And I will say this again. There were many reasons why Trump won the presidency in 2016. I think the biggest one of all the reasons was his popularity. And I say a big chunk of that was The Apprentice. I think that is a big reason. Obviously not the only. I think is a big reason for him that he won. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a big reason. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. So yes. Michael Voss is here. How are you, sir? Mike says, I expect New York State to follow Colorado and Maine, trying to nullify voters to fortify the 2024 election. I think you are correct. I think they probably will try because, again, that's virtue signaling. But they may not be able to. And this will be a bit of a mix. Mike, you'll understand this. Let me tell the audience this. If the Supreme Court rules before New York State can rule, the Supreme Court may decide this is not good or this is bad, or for whatever reason they may decide. If the Supreme Court decides that Colorado and Maine can't do this for whatever reason, then I'm not sure New York will do it. Now, again, New York very often defies Supreme Court. New York believes that it is righteous, and therefore the Supreme Court, because it's obviously a conservative court, that by default makes the court evil. The court's evil now, so they can just tell them no. We saw that already with the Second Amendment laws, right? The Supreme Court said, New York State, your laws are unconstitutional. And New York State said, here's 10 more. Here's 10 more. Here's how much we respect what you have to say, Supreme Court. You're clearly not valid anymore because Donald Trump picked people, so therefore you're invalid. I know some of you want your head to explode when I say that, but you know that's how they actually feel. Just do it. We don't care. So it's a chance, Mike, that New York State might do it anyway. It also would be so they can have a fight, right? So they can do that, and that would be part of the plan. So I do think that might happen. However, here is something that would be terrible for me personally, is if the Supreme Court just doesn't see the case. If the Supreme Court just says, nope, it's states, doesn't matter, I don't care, states do what they want, it's not a Supreme Court issue, we're not going to hear it. If that happens, that blows my personal chances of getting back on the ballot. So yeah, that's a personal issue for me. In my perfect world, I've mentioned this in my other show before, I'll bring it up now though to make sure. In my perfect world, the Supreme Court says that because of Donald Trump's popularity and the First Amendment, that he needs to be on the ballot. Now, I'm not saying they will say that. They might say that. I don't know what they're thinking. If they say that, this kid gets on the ballot too, because that was my argument. So I have a dog in this fight, or I have a horse in this race. I really hope that's what happens. That's a personal issue. For those of you who don't like Trump, I know you don't want him on. I just want, and if he gets on, but not through that way, I'm still not helped. I'm only helped if they put him on through that reasoning. That is my personal issue. That's what I would like. So yes. John says, New Year's resolutions are gym membership schemes, coming from one who has one and actually uses it. You know what? This is a funny part, John. A lot of people make that resolution not because they believe it. They make that resolution because it makes them feel good. Right? Oh, I'm going to do the thing. Now, I'm not against people going to gyms. I mean, if you want to go to a gym, please go. You know, do whatever makes you feel happy and comfortable, right? I'm always that way. But if you're going to make a gym resolution, you should be doing it, right? You shouldn't do it because, oh, John's going to think I'm bad if I don't lie to John and tell him I'm going to go to the gym every day now. No, if I don't want to go to the gym every day, I should just go, John, I ain't going to the gym. Sorry, man. I'm not going. Or if I am, I am. I think it's a virtue signaling piece also, John. I agree completely. Ed's on board. He says, virtue signaling and making more laws is going to give more growth. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Yes. Where is the part that says, here's how we're going to make business grow? Here is how we're going to make it easier for someone to be a gig worker. Or here is how we're going to help a small business owner move forward. Or I know if Roger's watching, he's going to bring it up, I'm sure. Here is how we're going to create a public bank so that more local people can start more local businesses or local unions to support more local workers. Where's any of those laws? Laws that I've been bringing up for literally years. Where's the law that says if you want to take your taxes and put them into a local nonprofit to support your own community, you can take a chunk and do that? Where's that law? A law that I talked about in 2018 and 2022. Where's that? Nowhere. Nowhere at all. No piece of that. Where's the law that says if you start a new business, we will help you out in some way rather than punishing you to bring the big guy in? Where's that law? Nowhere. I don't see it. Where's the way you're going to help people pay their rent? Help people get a mortgage? Whatever. Any of those things. Pick the thing. Whichever one you care about. There is no, it's just punish, punish, punish. That's all it is. And the right just gets mad and goes, man, the left's killing everybody. It's terrible. And we're going to keep grifting though. But yeah. And the left goes, well, we're doing the good thing. See, look, we did positive things. Don't you feel good? Nothing but bad. Nothing but bad. So yes, let me keep going on if I can. Some of these comments have spicy language. So yes, I probably shouldn't do this. I'm going to censor this. Jim says they think they're repairing the existing laws. No. And this is the problem, because they don't repeal any of them. Right? There was an idea that I had years ago, not I had, but I talked about. It's an old idea, but I spoke about it in 2018. They did that in New York State. Every single law, every one, and I mean every law, should have a 5-year sunset. Every 5 years, you have to reapprove the law or it goes away. It goes away. And people go, Dad, that's terrible, Larry. What if they forget murder? First off, how dumb are you if you think they'll forget murder? But let's assume they do. Let's assume they're that dumb and they actually forget to make murder a law. Let's say they do that. The second someone gets arrested for murder, which in New York State will be the next day, they'll go, wait, you can't charge me with murder. Murder is not illegal in New York State anymore. If that ever did happen, I can't but say it does, that one guy will be charged with whatever else, like aggravated assault or whatever. He'll be charged with something else. And then they'll redo murder. Done. So you might have one day. That's it. But imagine if you had to re-establish every law, vote for it, every 5 years. You wouldn't have 900 new laws every year. You wouldn't need them. And people could see what you're responsible for. It would change everything. Oh my God, that'd be great. Am I crazy? Do you not want to redo all the laws? I do. Larry Sharpe, WYSL, Rochester, New York, on Sharpe Radio, 585-346-3000. Back.
For truth and freedom.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, steady temps in the low 30s on Wednesday, kind of cloudy, a couple of flurries or snow showers in the afternoon or at night. Temperatures in the 30s. A little colder on Thursday. A few late flakes in the morning. Could see up to an inch or two of snow. Temperatures dropping back into the 20s. Should be clearing in the 30s on Friday. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Hey friends, Bob Savage here for Air & More infrared zone heaters. You know, we stay comfy and cozy here at Radio Ranch with the Comfort Deluxe heater. Actually, we have several of them. Not only is the heat warm and quiet, of course, we can't have noisy blowers in radio studios. Our hosts and talent breathe easier. Air & More heat at WYSL does not use combustion, so there's no drying of the air, no particulates or fallout from fuel. The Air & More zone heater uses advanced copper PVC technology for even heat. It's even antimicrobial. We like the reliability, the safety, the efficiency. You'll really save on your energy costs since you're heating the rooms you're using now instead of cranking up the thermostat to heat up the whole house. And our Air & More zone heaters will be with us for years because there are no bulbs to replace ever. So for clean, safe, even quiet heat and big energy savings, do like we do here at the Voice of Liberty. Warm your world with the Air & More infrared zone heater. Get the lowest price anywhere on the web when you buy direct. 800-707-8725 or visit air.more.com for savings. Tell them WYSL sent you.
FM Talk.
Happy 2024 from Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 6484 Route 96 in Victor. Come save during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. Lease a 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4 SUV convertible at just $259 a month for 39 months. $2,500 down, must be conquest or returning lessee. A 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee El Laredo 4x4 SUV is only $359 a month for 39 months. $2,500 down, must be returning lessee. A 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4-door Willis 4xe convertible is just $309 a month for 36 months. $2,500 down, must be returning lessee. And a Chrysler Pacifica minivan is just $399 a month for 39 months. $2,500 down, must be returning lessee. All lease deals require first payment, DMV, taxes and fees due at signing, 10,000 miles per year. Other conditions may apply. See dealer for details. We welcome Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and Finger Lakes. It's Victor Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Route 96, just east of Victor.
Hi, I'm Steve Tasker. Over the years, my wife Sarah and I have supported Heritage Christian Services and the work that they do to advance an inclusive and equitable community. Heritage Christian Services and their staff support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities by offering meaningful and diverse experiences. Like us, they believe that people are entitled to dignity, respect, equity, and justice, and that belief is reflected in all that they do. While disability services are what they were founded on, their work extends to offer life-enriching opportunities for people throughout the community through therapeutic writing, health and wellness services, and childcare, and more. Now more than ever, Heritage Christian Services needs your support to continue their work. Consider becoming a friend to Heritage Christian like Sarah and I did almost 20 years ago. You can choose to volunteer, share their job opportunities, or make a donation. To learn more, visit heritagechristianservices.org. That's heritagechristianservices.org.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
So what's it going to be? Another winter of fiddling with the thermostat? Don't blame your cold house on your furnace. Maybe you need more insulation. Burt's Lumber and Perry proudly carries the Johns Manville line of insulation, including a huge stock of bats and rolled insulation. And for a limited time, Burt's has an incredible price on 4x8 sheets of foam board insulation. Lose the chill and get to Burt's, where Bob says it's not cool to be cold. Burt's Lumber and Perry, open 7 days a week, including Sundays, 9 to 1.
Hi, I'm Carmen Leonardo,
right,
licensed
Lance
associate
Spot.
real estate broker with Remax Realty.
You're welcome.
Proudly representing buyers and sellers, one patriot at a time. Call or text 585-233-4119.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
Oh, yes. It is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York, 585-346-3000. Been talking a lot about New York State, how they just keep beating us up and providing no way for us to grow and don't know why everybody's leaving. And then with no way to grow, Well, we'll just keep taking from the middle class until there basically is no middle class. It is terrible. So Ed brings up, he says, Hochul signed the law to ban the sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits, which killed off pet shops over worrying about the puppy mills. Some of you may say, is that true? That is true. Actually goes into effect, I think this month or next month. I forgot. It goes into effect sometime this year. Whenever, I don't remember exactly when it goes into effect, but yes. So now no more puppy mills in New York State. And I would ask a question. Are now women and men not going to get cats and dogs anymore? No, I put women with cats and men with dogs. I'm teasing. That was very sexist, but I'm playing. Anyway, but is that not going to happen anymore? Of course it's going to happen. But now they're going to go to Jersey or Connecticut or Pennsylvania or wherever. So another business killed off in New York State over puppy mills. I'm not for puppy mills at all. I love dogs. I'm not for puppy mills at all. So then attack the puppy mills then. That's fine. If they're being cruel to animals, go get those people. Okay. You've got cops, don't you? Instead of having them worry about whether I've got weed in my pocket, have them go bust the puppy mill. Okay. So they don't beat dogs anymore. And I can go have a dog if I want one, or a cat, whatever. I completely agree. Another industry destroyed. They destroyed vaping. They destroyed, now they're destroying cannabis. Have you seen that now? They're destroying cannabis now. Destroying small cannabis farmers on top of it. Yes. Destroying small cannabis farmers by not allowing them, another law, they can't sell their surplus cannabis to Native Americans. I'm not joking. They stopped that too. New York State got in the way of regular commerce with the Native Americans. Because I'm not sure what their logic is. I know the logic. The logic is they want to make sure big farmers make all the money. That's always been the plan. I've been saying that since 2018 when I said regulate cannabis like onions. I've been saying that since 2018. Every single thing I said about these guys throwing all the money to big business and crushing us, every single thing I've said is true. I have done over 600 events across New York State in the past 5 years. In fact, just last weekend, last Friday, I did my final 62, my final crossing of New York State, again, for the 6th year in a row. My last event was in the Bronx, last Friday evening. Every single county I visited in New York State, all 62, for the past 6 years. And for the past 6 years, I've been saying this is going to happen. And every event I do, if you haven't been to any of them or watch when I live stream them, they're all the same. They're live with no notes. You just add this show I do live with no notes. I just talk. Think about that. Think about that. I am on record for 6 years. Where are people saying, Larry, you were wrong. Larry, you screwed that up. Larry, you made a mistake. Where are those people? Nowhere. Because I'm right. Been right for 6 years. Still right. And you people keep coming back with the same things. Going, damn, that guy was right. I hope one day they'll figure this out. But Joe has the answer. He says, ban immigration out of New York. Build a wall and make Florida pay for it. Brilliant. Joe, if you move up here to New York State, you need to make you governor. Build that wall. That is it. But I got to tell you, we kind of are trying that in a way. But you'd say, wait a minute, really? With migration? No. With guns. We know that people are buying guns outside New York State because it's hard to buy guns here. So now they're trying to have more border patrol, I'm not joking, to stop people from bringing guns to New York State. What? That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. No. Andrea says, I'm feeling Illinois is not far behind New York. I have bad news for you, Andrea, if you live in Illinois. You're ahead of us. Yeah, you're way ahead of us. Illinois has, if any state goes under, Illinois is the first one. You might say, why? Here's the reason why California is not. California has 2 cash cows, Hollywood and Silicon Valley. And those cash cows keep paying California. They're keeping the state afloat. Now, those are leaving. For those of you paying attention, you know Hollywood is slowly going down in California, and so Silicon Valley. A lot of it's going to Austin, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. New York State has 1. It has finance. We've destroyed our farming already. So that's gone. New York used to have three things: farming, finance, and forward-thinking innovation. 3 F's. That's what's made New York awesome for literally 300 years. I'm not exaggerating. For 300 years, New York State's had farming, finance, and forward-thinking innovation. That's been New York State. We lost forward-thinking innovation. That's gone. We've lost farming. It's all just big businesses. There's no innovative farms anymore. And now we're losing finance. Most of it's going like to Miami. Some of it's going to Austin, Dallas, heading down there. So we're losing, some of it's going to Nashville. So we're losing that too. Illinois has none of that. Sorry, Andrea. Illinois doesn't have that. Illinois is in a far worse financial situation than California or New York. And if any of these states go under, Illinois is first. New York's after that, then California. But Illinois is first. Just being very forward. Illinois has more debt, has a bigger deficit than New York State and California. So it's in trouble, far more trouble. So anyway, Gene says, one of my Uber passengers told me that we should do what New York does. My head almost exploded. Yeah, that would be a terrible idea. Yes, terrible idea. Sam brings up the Rochester guy. Yes, for those who don't know, there was an accident. I don't know what it was actually. I'm not sure. They haven't done an actual detailed investigation yet. But so far, what we do know is a guy had a bunch of explosives in his car, drove in Rochester into an area where people were leaving. I think it was a club or something after New Year's Eve, and his car exploded. He died. A couple of people died. Some people were injured, and they thought it might be some kind of big terror attack. According to the FBI, Sam says it is not that. I think it was either. I think it was what I keep talking about, and I'm glad you brought us up, Sam. I think it was a planned suicide. And if I remember right, they found a suicide note. One of the things we keep seeing here is an increase in suicide. Men are committing suicide, and women are doing a slow suicide. They are actually doing much more self-medication. Women's alcoholism has exploded since the lockdowns. It used to be that most alcoholics were just men. It was men getting drunk. Men still get drunk. People still get drunk. But relatively, women have exploded in that. They are self-medicating. Huge amount of women who are on antidepressants, self-medicating. There's no tomorrow. So many women are. So people are unhappy. And Sam, when men are unhappy, they tend to delete themselves. When women are unhappy, they tend to self-medicate. That's it. I mean, men do too, but I'm saying by percentages, obviously, right? And a lot, you're seeing more of that. And sadly, if we don't have a better culture and better hope for the people around us, we're only going to see more of that. We'll see more and more of that. And you can get rid of all the guns you want. You can get rid of all the knives. You can do knife control or gun control, whatever. You can have a guy in a car with a bomb. It's still going to happen, right? If I want to end myself, I'll end myself. You can't stop me. If you want to hurt others, I'm going to hurt others. Remember this old saying, it's so trite, but it's still so true. Hurt people hurt. If you are hurt, you will hurt others. It's how it works. I'd like a whole lot more happiness. I speak about it all the time. Robert brings up something interesting too. He says, we have a law in New York State where every business must be child support certified. And if you fall behind, they can take your professional license. How do you pay child support if you aren't allowed to work? Robert, you and I both know the answer to that. People listening may not, but you know the answer. They don't care. In fact, they'd prefer it. What New York State does very well is if you are a deadbeat dad, you know the system, you scam the system. Well done for you. You get away with murder. Not literally murder, but you get away with a lot, right? Deadbeat dads do fine in New York State. Well, you're not a deadbeat dad. The state goes out of its way to make you one because you have to pay for all the deadbeat dads. So if you are a good dad, the state punishes you. If you're a deadbeat dad, you just pack up and leave and go to Florida or something, whatever. You go hang out with Joe and you're betting your kids. The amount of people I've known who've done that? Yeah, of course. But you may go, well, Larry, does every guy who goes to Florida, he's deadbeat dad? No, some are trying to escape jail because of what Robert's talking about. So if you aren't a deadbeat dad, the state tries to make you one. So you have to go out of your way to not be one because the state will try to make you one. They'll go out of its way. blame all the men, take all the money, crush them. Yes. Those of you who don't know, the child support system in New York State is a profit center. Let me say that one more time so you're clear. The child support system in New York State is a profit center. That is how they make money. They can't get rid of that system. Budget will go down. Oof. There we go. Yes. Joe says, Larry going to institute the purge in New York on Sunset Law Day. Well, let's hope they don't all go away the same day, Joe. I mean, that'd be terrible. Not the same day. I hope not. So yes, that would be terrible. That's good. Gene says, if they don't keep passing new laws, how will they keep their jobs? By making us happy, so we want them to stay. If they would just make us happy, which is a whole lot harder, we'd love them. Imagine if you had a governor who made you happy. Like, I don't want that guy or gal to ever leave. That's how. I don't know, am I crazy for thinking that? Maybe I am. Larry Sharpe here on Sharpe Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York, 585-346-3000. I'll be back with your calls and more via chat. I see you. I will cover you after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
Avon Gun and Hunting Supply, a locally owned and operated gun shop here for your hunting needs. With changes in New York State laws, they'll work with you to fulfill your needs. Open from 10 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, Avon Gun, East Main Street, next to Tompkins Community Bank.
The Stars and Stripes flag store is open again. Shop at 783 South Avenue Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 to 5. All American-made flags, many different types, apparel, drinkware, ornaments, and more. Honor our heroes. Shop Stars and Stripes flag store open again.
In 1926, the Avon Fire Department put an Aaron's Fox pumper into service. It now sits fully restored in a museum near Toronto. Avon has an opportunity to bring the Fox home for its 100th birthday for a fraction of its appraised value. The Aaron's Fox Full Circle Preservation Society needs your help. Look us up on Facebook or call 615-6463. Let's bring home the Fox.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
Yes, it is Larry Sharpe here on Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. I'm so glad you give me a small chunk of your afternoon. You know, I know I keep so often I'm on this show talking about terrible things in New York. It's true, because there are a lot of terrible things in New York. It's true. Why the heck do I stay? Why do I keep staying? Right? If it's so bad, why don't you get out of here? Stop talking trash, Larry. Pack your bags and leave. I thought about that. I have thought about it. If you don't know the story, it's one of the reasons why I ran for governor in 2018. I was going to leave. I was tired back in 2017. I thought this place was bad back then. And I said, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to leave. And I went down to North Carolina and I thought, well, what I do for my day job, I am a business consultant. Some of you guys here, I talk about business often. I'm a business consultant. It's how I make my money. It's how I pay my bills. And I need a big city with big business to do my work. That's why I live in New York City. Big business is here. It's how I made my living past almost 20 years. In fact, this May makes 20 years I've been a consultant. So I thought, okay, I'm going to pack up and go. I'm going to head down south. And I thought the city that I was going to go to was another big city, was Charlotte, which again in the south is a big city. It's not New York City. It's a big city, big businesses. I can make money, pay my bills, head down there. And I went down there, looked around. And I saw I could sell my shoebox of a house here, buy a mansion down there, live better, less taxes, better. And instead of leaving, though, I got angry. And I said, why do I have to leave my beautiful state? Why does my state suck so bad? Why do I have to leave my family, my friends, my business? Why do I have to leave this state because my state sucks? Nope. I don't accept that. I'm going to head back. I'm going to run for governor. I'm going to win governor, and I'm going to fix my state. That did not go as planned, as you can obviously see. But that was my plan. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what I thought. That's what I was going to go do. Didn't work the way I wanted it to work. You might go, well, Larry, and once you failed in 2018, why don't you pack up and go to North Carolina? I thought about it again. I'm a human being. I think about it, of course. I thought about it. But I saw how bad and how rigged the system was when I was running. I saw how corrupt it was. All the things that I talk about now, I learned those in 2017 and 2018. That's when I saw the system. That's when I saw how it worked. And then in 2019, I saw how it worked. And I went, I got to break this system. I'm going to run again. Yeah, I'm stupid or I'm crazy or both, maybe. I don't know. Stubborn, whatever. Guilty as charged. I said, I'm going to do it again. And I went again after it. The Democrats made up laws to throw me off the ballot in 2020. Then the Republicans sued me off the ballot in 2022. So they both jumped me. So you wonder why I don't like either party? Well, because they both stabbed me in the back. So yeah, I'm no fan of either party, clearly. So I went back to try again. Got my butt kicked again in 2022. Well, Larry, don't you just want to leave? Of course I think about it. Now I'm thinking about Tennessee. I am. I'm considering Tennessee. But I still haven't left yet. Because I believe somehow in my heart, with the new year again, that maybe there's a chance that we can start turning this around. And if we can just hold the line here, I know it seems so, for some of you who are more libertarian hardcore, you probably don't like the way I speak when I don't say, burn it all down, get rid of it all. I don't do that. I don't think we can do that in New York State. And maybe in your state where you might live, maybe that's true, maybe where you live. I don't see it here. I just want to hold the line. If we could just like not pass 900 laws one year, something like that, right? Just something like that. So that now we wouldn't be punishing all the other states who are far freer than we are. This is the front line. This is the front line. If we can hold them here, we can hold them anywhere. If we can make impact here,
Roger,
we can make massive impact anywhere. This is why I stay here. This is why I keep fighting. And maybe I'm banging my head against the wall. And maybe next year you'll hear me go, that's it, I'm out. I'm going to Tennessee. Maybe I am. But not this year. Not now. 2024, I am still here. 2024, I am still fighting. 2024, I'm going to still try to get ballot access to make change in this state. I'm still here this year. So when I say Happy New Year, I'm still here. It says Happy New Year in New York. I'm not promising 2025 yet. We'll see. But 2024, I am here. I'm still fighting. You might say, Larry, why do you keep doing this radio show? Because it matters. Why do you keep going out there and doing podcasts? Why do you keep going on TV? Why are you on News Nation talking trash? Why? Because it matters. That's why. Eventually, I'm hoping people will look back at my stuff and go, man, that guy was right. He was right in 2018. He was right in 2020. He was right the whole way. Man, we should follow that guy. Or at least do what he says. Even if we don't follow him, go off and do your own thing. And I said it 1,000 times. If somebody else takes my stuff and fixes it, I don't mind. Let them. It doesn't have to be me. I'll go back to stay with my family and friends. Someone else can do it. All of my policies have been public for 5 years. I haven't hid them. I talk about them openly. Just take them. All of them. I will go home. No worries. Absolutely. Patty says, please keep doing your radio show. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. She also says that I give her hope. I try very much. I do appreciate that. Valerie says, Larry, I'll help you again when you run. You make a positive difference in office for us all. I appreciate that. I want to grab a call if I could. I'm going to grab Roger. How are you, sir?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So I'm going to try to make this quick. All right, listen. The only way We're going to make this thing better. I would say everybody out there, get your state senator and your assembly member to get on Senator Pamela Helming's S2290 and
S2290.
right, and the assembly version A2933. Okay,
A2933.
that would allow us to place our own initiatives on the ballot so that we can ratify our own amendments into the New York State Constitution, approve our own laws, and do veto referendums to repeal law. But on top of that, it would also mandate that you do it, that municipalities do it also. So you would be
the piece that I love most about that, there's so many things I like about this. One of them I like is that we can veto. I love that idea that when they have their friends get, kickbacks, we can get rid of them. But second is, it does put the fear into them, Roger. It does make them think, wait a minute, they might, we have to actually care because they could actually hurt us. I like this.
Like I said, but I think very most important, it goes beyond that and says every village, every county, every town, every whatever municipality would have to offer that as well. So if you don't get what you want statewide, then you can do it locally.
So we're promoting localism on top of it, and maybe even stopping some of the local bullies from beating people up locally. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have a question. When the Supreme Court, should the Supreme Court knock down the Colorado thing, will that open up people like West and Stein to get on the ballot in New York State?
Again, it depends on how they do it. Probably not Cornel West. Cornel West doesn't have enough standing in the polling. But Jill Stein, yes, it will help her out. Yes, absolutely. Up against the end of the show, I hope I answered your question, Roger. Yes, if it's done the way I say it, it will help Stein. Probably not West, but it will help Stein. And RP Jr., him too. Help them all. Guys, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.